Chapter 1. The Mirror. Stop for a moment. Not tomorrow. Not after this video. Right now. Pause whatever you're doing. Sit still. Take one deep breath and ask yourself a question that most people are too afraid to ask. What are you doing with your life? Not what you plan to do. Not what you say you will do. What are you actually doing? Look at your days. They pass so quickly, don't they? Morning becomes night. Monday becomes Sunday. January becomes December. And somehow you are still in the same place, thinking the same thoughts, making the same promises, repeating the same habits. Be honest with yourself. Are you moving forward, or are you just moving in circles? Sometimes we are so busy surviving that we forget to live. We wake up, check our phone, and scroll for a few minutes that turn it into hours. We tell ourselves we are tired. We say we deserve a break. We say we'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow. That word has stolen more dreams than failure ever did. Let me ask you something deeper. If someone secretly recorded your life for the past 30 days, your habits, your routines, your effort, would you be proud to watch it? Or would you feel uncomfortable? Would you see discipline or distraction, growth or excuses? This is not to make you feel guilty. This is to wake you up. Because here is the truth most people ignore. Your life is not waiting for you to be ready. Time is moving every single day. And whether you use it or waste it, it disappears the same way, quietly, permanently. One day, you will look back at this period of your life. The question is, what will you see? Will you see someone who tried, someone who fought, someone who decided to change? Or will you see someone who kept waiting? There is a version of you in the future, a stronger version, wiser, more confident, more successful. That version of you is real. It exists somewhere ahead in time. And whether you believe it or not, your future is watching you. Watching the decisions you make today. Watching how you spend your time. Watching whether you choose comfort or courage. Imagine that future version of you standing in front of you right now. Is he proud or is he disappointed? Does he thank you for starting early, for staying disciplined, for not giving up? Or does he look at you with regret and say, you had the chance and you wasted it? This moment, right now, is not small. It feels ordinary. It feels like just another day. But it's not. It is a turning point. Because awareness is where change begins. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. But you do need to be honest. Look in the mirror, not the one on your wall, but the one inside your mind. Ask yourself again, what am I doing with my life? And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the beginning of growth. Because from this moment forward, you have a choice. Stay the same, or become someone your future will thank you for. Chapter 2. The invisible enemy. You think your biggest enemy is outside of you. You think it's lack of money, lack of opportunity, lack of support. But your real enemy? It's invisible. It sits quietly in your pocket. It glows in your hand. It whispers, just 5 more minutes. Your phone. Be honest. How many hours do you spend on it every day? 1? 3? 6? You open it to check one message, and suddenly 45 minutes disappear. You scroll, you tap, you watch, you laugh, you compare, you consume, and then you feel tired. Not physically tired, mentally tired. Your brain is full, but your life is empty. Social media is not evil. Your phone is not evil. But uncontrolled comfort is dangerous because it feels harmless. It feels normal. Everyone is doing it. That's what makes it powerful. You tell yourself you're relaxing. You tell yourself you deserve a break. You tell yourself you'll work later. But let me ask you something important. How often does later actually come? Comfort is addictive because it feels good in the moment. No risk, no embarrassment, No failure, just easy dopamine, easy entertainment, easy distraction. But comfort has a hidden price. Every hour you spend escaping your life is an hour not building it. And the scary part, you don't feel the damage immediately. If you waste one day, nothing dramatic happens. If you waste 1 week, your life still looks the same. Even 1 month can pass without visible consequences. That's why average feels safe. Average doesn't hurt. Average is comfortable. Average lets you sleep peacefully at night because you can say, "At least I'm not failing." But here's the truth no one likes to admit. Average is a slow death of potential. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become a failure. You slowly become one through small, repeated choices. 5 more minutes, 1 more episode, 1 more scroll, 1 more excuse. Let me tell you about a guy I once knew. His name was Daniel. Daniel was talented, smart, funny. He spoke good English. He had ideas for a business. He talked about starting a YouTube channel. He said he wanted to get fit. Every year, he said the same thing. "This is my year." But every evening, after work, he did the same routine. Phone, videos, gaming, social media, just to relax. Months passed, then years. His friends started businesses. One friend moved abroad. Another got in great shape. Another improved his English and got a better job. Daniel, still planning, still talking, still comfortable. He wasn't stupid. He wasn't lazy in a dramatic way. He just chose comfort too often. That's how dreams die. Not with a big explosion, but with quiet distraction. Your comfort zone is not a safe place. It's a beautiful prison. The walls are soft. The bed is warm. The food is easy. But you're still trapped. Growth lives outside. Growth feels awkward. It feels embarrassing. It feels tiring. It feels uncomfortable. That's why most people never reach it. They say they want success, but they choose comfort. They say they want confidence, but they avoid situations that challenge them. They say they want better English, but they never speak because they're afraid of mistakes. Distraction becomes their lifestyle, and slowly they stop believing in their own potential. But here's the good news. You don't need to delete everything. You don't need to disappear from the world. You don't need to become extreme. You just need to take back control. Here's a simple challenge. For the next 7 days, reduce your daily phone time by 1 hour. Just 1 hour. Use that hour intentionally. Read 10 pages of a book. Practice speaking English for 20 minutes. Write your goals. Exercise. Learn a new skill. 1 focused hour a day equals 365 hours a year. That's more than 9 full 40-hour work weeks. Imagine what your life would look like with 9 extra weeks of focused effort every year. Comfort is not the enemy. Uncontrolled comfort is. Distraction is not the enemy. Constant distraction is. The invisible enemy doesn't scream. It whispers. And if you don't learn to silence it, it will slowly silence your dreams. The question is not whether distraction exists. The question is, are you strong enough to say no to it, even when it feels good? Chapter 3. The Lie of Someday. There is one word that sounds harmless, but destroys more dreams than failure ever could. That word is someday. I'll start someday. I'll change someday. I'll learn English seriously someday. I'll take my health seriously someday. I'll follow my dream someday. Someday feels safe. It feels responsible. It feels like you're not giving up, just delaying. But let's be honest. How many somedays have already passed in your life? Think back 1 year ago. You had goals. You had plans. You said, "This year will be different." Now look at where you are. Is it really different? Or are you still waiting? The psychology of "I'll start tomorrow" is simple. Your brain wants comfort. It wants safety. Starting something new feels uncomfortable. It feels uncertain. So your mind protects you. It whispers, "Not today. You're tired. Start next week. You'll be more ready. Wait until the right moment." But here's the brutal truth. There is no perfect moment. There will always be problems. You will always be busy. You will always feel a little scared. Life will never suddenly become calm and organized just so you can begin. Tomorrow is the favorite hiding place of fear. And the scary part, time doesn't argue with you. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't shout. It just moves. Quietly. You don't notice one day disappearing. You don't notice 1 month slipping away. Even 1 year can pass before you realize how little has changed. Then suddenly you wake up and 5 years are gone. Let me ask you something powerful. Imagine you wake up tomorrow, but you are 10 years older. 10 years. Look at your face in the mirror. Slightly older. Maybe more tired. Maybe carrying quiet regret. You look around at your life. Are you proud? Or do you hear a voice inside saying, "You knew what to do, and you didn't do it"? That voice is your future self. And disappointment from yourself is heavier than criticism from anyone else. You can ignore friends. You can ignore society. But you cannot escape the feeling of knowing you wasted your own potential. Regret is not loud at first. It starts small. I should have started earlier. I had the chance. I was young. I had time. But time is not something you have. It is something you are given moment by moment. And once a moment passes, it is gone forever. The dangerous thing about someday is that it gives you the illusion of control. It makes you feel like you're still planning, still thinking, still preparing. But thinking without action is just a beautiful form of procrastination. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need confidence. You need movement, even small movement. Here's a simple action trigger. Whatever you have been delaying, reduce it to the smallest possible step. Want to improve your English? Don't promise to study 2 hours a day. Open one picciamo, read for 5 minutes. Want to get fit? Don't plan a perfect workout program. Do 10 push-ups. Want to start that project? Don't design the whole future. Write the first sentence. The lie of someday loses its power the moment you act today. Right now, as you listen to this, you are standing at a decision point. You can close this video and say, "That was motivating. I'll start later." Or you can choose differently. You can say, "No more someday." Because someday is not a real day on the calendar. There is only today. And the life you will live 10 years from now is being built by what you do or refuse to do in this very moment. Chapter 4. The War Within. There is a war happening inside you right now, not outside, not in the world, not in your job, not in your family, inside you. 2 versions of you wake up every morning. One is comfortable, one is powerful. One wants to sleep a little longer. The other wants to get up and build something. One says, "It's okay. You tried." The other says, "Try again." One chooses distraction. The other chooses growth. And every single day, one of them wins. This is not motivation. This is identity. Because success is not about what you want. It's about who you are becoming. Inside you lives the lazy version, the safe version, the version that wants to avoid embarrassment. It hates discomfort. It hates rejection. It hates effort. It whispers things like, "You're tired. You're not ready. What if you fail? Other people are better. Just start tomorrow." That version feels soft, protective, reasonable, but it is dangerous. Then there is another version of you, stronger, quieter, hungrier. This version doesn't scream. It doesn't complain. It doesn't look for excuses. It simply waits for you to make a decision. It says, stand up. Do it anyway. Be better than yesterday. Prove it. The war is not dramatic. There are no explosions. No one sees it. But it decides everything. Your body follows whichever voice you obey. Let me tell you something important. You are not lazy by nature. You are trained by habit. Every time you choose comfort, the lazy version grows stronger. Every time you choose discipline, the powerful version grows stronger. Imagine two wolves inside you. One wolf is weak, negative, full of doubt. The other wolf is focused, disciplined, ambitious. Which one wins? The one you feed. If you feed distraction, overthinking, excuses, the weak wolf grows. If you feed action, discipline, small daily effort, the strong wolf grows. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Many times, you are the one feeding the wrong wolf, not because you're bad, not because you're incapable, but because discipline feels uncomfortable at first. Your feelings will almost always choose the easy path. You won't feel like waking up early. You won't feel like studying. You won't feel like speaking English when you're afraid of mistakes. You won't feel like going to the gym. Feelings are temporary. Identity is permanent. Athletes don't train because they feel motivated. They train because that's who they are. A disciplined athlete wakes up even when tired because his identity demands it. Now let me give you a picture. Imagine a seed under the soil. It's dark. It's cold. It's heavy. The seed can stay comfortable underground forever, safe, hidden, protected, or it can break. To grow, it must push upward. It must crack open. It must force itself through the dirt. It must face the sun, the wind, the storm. Growth is violent at first, but only the seed that breaks becomes a tree. You are that seed. Right now, you are in the soil of comfort, safe, familiar, predictable. But there is a tree inside you. There is strength inside you that you haven't even touched yet. The problem is not that you lack potential. The problem is that you keep negotiating with your weaker self. You say, I'll work hard, but not today. I'll be disciplined, but after this show. I'll change, but slowly. That negotiation is self-sabotage. You don't sabotage your life in one big decision. You sabotage it in small, daily compromises. 5 more minutes in bed, skipping practice, avoiding difficult conversations, choosing entertainment over effort. And then you wonder why your confidence is low. Confidence is not built by thinking. It is built by winning small battles against yourself. When you say, I will wake up at 6, and you do it, you win. When you say, I will study for 30 minutes, and you do it, you win. When you speak English, even though you're nervous, you win. Each small victory weakens the lazy version of you. Each small action strengthens the powerful one. The war inside you will never disappear. Even successful people fight it. The difference is, they don't negotiate, they choose. Every morning, you stand at a battlefield. On one side, comfort, excuses, average. On the other side, discipline, growth, power. And no one else can fight this war for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your teacher. You versus you. So the real question is not, can I succeed? The real question is, which version of you are you going to feed today? Because the version you feed consistently becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your destiny. Chapter 5. Pain. The teacher. Let's talk about something most people try to avoid. Pain. Failure, rejection, embarrassment. That heavy feeling in your chest when something doesn't work out. Nobody wakes up and says, I hope I failed today. Nobody enjoys being rejected. Nobody likes feeling small or embarrassed. But here's something powerful. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. The problem is not that you suffer. The problem is that you run from what the suffering is trying to teach you. Think about your biggest failure. Maybe you failed an exam. Maybe you applied for a job and got rejected. Maybe you tried to speak English and someone laughed at your accent. Maybe you trusted someone and they disappointed you. In that moment, what did you feel? Shame, anger, doubt, maybe even the desire to quit completely. Failure has a voice. It whispers, "You're not good enough. This isn't for you. Other people are better. Stop trying." And if you believe that voice, pain becomes poisoned. But if you challenge that voice, pain becomes power. Let me tell you a story about a guy named Amir. Amir always wanted to speak English fluently. He watched videos every day. He understood most of what he heard, but he was terrified to speak. One day, in his university class, the teacher asked him a simple question in English. His heart started beating fast. His hands were shaking. But he stood up and tried to answer. He made mistakes, many mistakes. Some students laughed quietly. One of them even imitated his pronunciation. That day, Amir went home feeling humiliated. He stood in front of the mirror and said to himself, "Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just not good at languages." For 2 weeks, he avoided speaking completely. That's the moment most people quit. But one night, something changed. Instead of replaying the laughter in his mind, he asked himself a different question. What if this embarrassment is training? What if this pain is not proof that I'm weak, but proof that I'm growing? The next day, Amir did something uncomfortable. He recorded himself speaking English for 5 minutes. It sounded bad. He knew it. But instead of feeling ashamed, he listened carefully. He noticed his pronunciation mistakes. He noticed where he hesitated. He wrote them down. He practiced again the next day, and the next, and the next. Every time he felt embarrassed, he used it as feedback, not as a final judgment. 1 year later, Amir was the one giving presentations in English confidently. Did the pain disappear? No, it transformed. That moment of embarrassment, the laughter, became the fuel that pushed him to practice harder. Here's what you must understand. Pain is information. Rejection is redirection. Failure is feedback, but only if you decide to use it that way. Broken confidence doesn't mean you are broken. It means your old version of yourself is cracking, and cracking is necessary for growth. Remember the seed from earlier. It cannot become a tree without breaking open. You cannot become stronger without facing resistance. If you've never failed, you've never tested your limits. If you've never been rejected, you've never taken a real risk. If you've never been embarrassed, you've never stepped outside your comfort zone. Pain is proof that you tried, and trying is something most people are too afraid to do. Let me tell you something honest. The strongest people you admire have cried more than you think. They have doubted themselves. They have felt small. They have been rejected. The difference is they didn't let pain define them. They let it refine them. Next time you fail, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this teaching me?" Next time someone rejects you, don't say, "I'm not enough." Say, "I'm being redirected to something better." Next time you feel embarrassed, don't hide, repeat. Pain is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you are stretching beyond your old limits. And every time you survive something difficult, you collect evidence that you are stronger than you thought. So stop hiding your pain. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. Face it. Use it. Convert it into discipline. Convert it into hunger. Convert it into silent determination. Because one day, the very thing that almost broke you will become the reason you rise. Pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to rebuild you into someone powerful. Chapter 6. Small Actions, Big Change. Most people overestimate what they can do in one day and underestimate what they can do in 1 year. You don't change your life in one massive action. You change it in small, repeated decisions. The problem is, when people decide to improve, they think too big. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I'll study English for 3 hours daily. I'll go to the gym 6 days a week. I'll completely change my life starting Monday. And for a few days, maybe they do. Then they get tired. Then they miss one day. Then they feel guilty. Then they quit. Why? Because they tried to become a different person overnight. Real change is smaller, quieter, simpler. Let's talk about 1 hour. Just 1 hour a day. Everyone says they're busy. But if you look closely at your screen time, you'll probably find 1 free hour hidden inside your day. 1 hour less scrolling. 1 hour less random videos. 1 hour less complaining. 1 focused hour. If you invest 1 hour daily into growth, that's 365 hours a year. That's more than 9 full work weeks, 9 weeks of focused learning. Imagine what 9 extra weeks of English practice could do for your speaking confidence. Imagine what 9 weeks of consistent workouts could do for your body. Imagine what 9 weeks of focused business learning could do for your income. The difference between average and exceptional is not talent, it's consistency. Now, let me give you something even simpler. The 10-minute rule. When you don't feel like doing something, tell yourself, I'll do it for just 10 minutes. That's it. Want to study English? Do it for 10 minutes. Want to exercise? Start with 10 minutes. Want to work on your goal? Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes feels small. It doesn't scare your brain. It doesn't feel overwhelming. And here's the secret. Once you start, you usually continue. Action creates momentum. Motivation comes after movement, not before. Let's connect this to your English learning. Many learners make the same mistake. They wait until they feel confident before speaking. But confidence is built by repetition. Here's a simple daily system. 10 minutes listening practice. 10 minutes speaking out loud, 10 minutes reading, 10 minutes writing. That's 40 minutes total. Less than 1 episode of a TV show. In 1 year, your English would be completely different. Not because of magic, because of the compound effect. The compound effect means small actions repeated daily create massive results over time. 1 push-up doesn't change your body. 1 English sentence doesn't make you fluent. 1 healthy meal doesn't transform you. But repeated daily, that changes everything. The problem is, people don't see results immediately. So they quit too early. They plant the seed, then dig it up every week to check if it's growing. Growth is invisible at first. Your English might feel awkward for months. Your body might not change quickly. Your business might grow slowly. But if you stay consistent, something powerful happens. One day, you look back, and you realize you're not the same person anymore. Small daily actions shape your identity. When you study every day, even briefly, you become someone who studies. When you exercise regularly, even lightly, you become someone who trains. When you practice English daily, even imperfectly, you become someone who speaks. Identity is built through repetition. You don't need extreme effort. You need steady effort. So stop waiting for a perfect plan. Start with 1 hour, or start with 10 minutes. But start today. Because small daily actions don't look impressive until 1 year later, when your entire life looks different. Chapter 7. Choose yourself. There is a dangerous habit that keeps people small. Waiting to be chosen. Waiting for someone to notice you. Waiting for someone to believe in you. Waiting for someone to give you permission. You wait for the perfect opportunity. You wait for the right connection. You wait for someone to say, "You're ready." But let me tell you something clearly. No one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your boss, not your followers, not society. People are busy building their own lives. They are fighting their own battles. They are chasing their own goals. You are waiting for applause from an audience that isn't even watching. This might sound harsh, but it's freeing. Because the moment you understand that no one is coming to pick you, you realize you can pick yourself. Stop waiting to be discovered. Start creating. Stop waiting to be invited. Build your own table. Stop waiting for someone to tell you you're good enough. Decide that you are. Do you know why many people never start a YouTube channel, or apply for that job, or speak English confidently? Because they are afraid of judgment. They think, what will people say? What if I look stupid? What if I fail publicly? But here's the truth. Most people are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. And even if they judge you, so what? Their opinion does not pay your bills. Their approval does not build your confidence. Their criticism does not define your future. You are giving strangers too much power over your life. Let's be honest. You want someone to choose you. You want someone to say, you're talented. You're smart. You can do it. But what if no one says it? Will you stop? Look at the most successful people in the world. At some point, nobody believed in them. Their ideas were rejected. Their applications were ignored. Their voices were doubted. But they didn't wait for approval. They approved themselves. That is the difference. Self-belief is louder than validation. Validation is temporary. It depends on others. It comes and goes. Self-belief is internal. It stays even when the room is silent. Let me ask you something. If nobody clapped for you for 1 year, would you still work? If nobody liked your posts, would you still create? If nobody encouraged you, would you still practice? Because real growth happens in silence, when nobody is watching, when nobody is cheering, when it's just you and your effort. Stop living your life like you are auditioning for approval. You are not here to impress people. You are here to build yourself. There is power in saying, I don't need permission. You want to improve your English? Start speaking. Even if you make mistakes, you want to start a project. Start small. Even if no one notices, you want to change your habits? Change them quietly. You don't need to announce it. Waiting to be chosen keeps you dependent. Choosing yourself makes you powerful. And here's something important. When you finally choose yourself consistently, the world starts to respond. Confidence attracts opportunities. Discipline attracts respect. Action attracts attention. But those things come after you decide, not before. So stop refreshing your phone waiting for a message. Stop waiting for someone to discover you. Stop waiting for life to invite you. Stand up. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I choose me. Not because you're perfect, not because you're fearless, but because you're responsible for your own life. No one owes you a chance, so create one. No one owes you belief, so build it. No one owes you success, so earn it. The moment you stop waiting to be chosen is the moment you become unstoppable. Chapter 8. The Discipline Code. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel powerful, some days you feel tired, distracted, unproductive. If your success depends on motivation, your progress will always be unstable. But discipline is built. It is trained. It is designed. Let's be clear about something. Willpower is not a personality trait. It is not something you are born with. It is like a muscle. If you never train it, it stays weak. If you train it daily, it becomes strong. At first, it hurts. When you try to wake up earlier, your body resists. When you try to stop scrolling, your mind complains. When you try to study instead of relax, Your brain, searches for excuses. That resistance is normal. That resistance is the workout. Every time you do the difficult thing anyway, you're lifting mental weight. Now here's where most people fail. They rely only on willpower. They say, I'll just try harder. But strong people don't rely on willpower alone. They design their environment. If your phone is next to your bed, you will scroll at night. If junk food is in your kitchen, you will eat it. If your study space is messy, you will feel distracted. Environment is stronger than intention. So design your life for success. If you want to use your phone less, put it in another room when you work. If you want to wake up early, put your alarm far from your bed. If you want to practice English daily, leave your notebook open on your desk. Make good habits easy. Make bad habits difficult. Discipline becomes easier when your environment supports your goals. Now let's talk about mornings. The way you start your day controls the direction of your day. If the first thing you do is check notifications, your mind becomes reactive. You start your day responding to others instead of building yourself. But if you control your morning, you control your mindset. You don't need a complicated routine. Start simple. Wake up. Drink water. Move your body for 5 minutes. Spend 10 and 20 minutes on something that builds you. Reading, planning, practicing English. That's it. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. A strong morning creates momentum. Momentum creates productivity. Productivity builds confidence. Now, here's the most important shift. Discipline is not about forcing yourself. It's about identity. Instead of saying, I'm trying to wake up early, say, I am someone who wakes up early. Instead of saying, I'm trying to study English, say, I am someone who practices English daily. Instead of saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, say, I don't break promises to myself. That sentence is powerful. I don't break promises to myself. If you promise a friend you'll meet them, you try to show up. If you promise your boss something, you try to deliver. But when you promise yourself something, you break it easily. Why? Because there is no immediate consequence, but there is a hidden one. Every time you break a promise to yourself, your self-trust decreases. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. When you keep promises to yourself, even small ones, you build trust. And when you trust yourself, you become powerful. So here's a practical discipline system. Choose one non-negotiable daily habit, something small but meaningful. For example, 20 minutes English practice, 15 minutes, reading 10 minutes exercise. Track it daily. Use a calendar. Mark an X every day you complete it. Protect your streak. Don't miss 2 days in a row. Improve slowly. After 30 days, increase the intensity slightly. That's it. No extreme pressure. No dramatic change. Just structured consistency. Discipline is boring. It's repetitive. It's quiet, but it builds unstoppable people. You don't need to feel inspired every day. You need a system that works even when you feel tired. And remember this, strong people are not stronger because life is easier for them. They are stronger because they trained their willpower, designed their environment, protected their habits, and built an identity around discipline. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You need to prove, every single day, that you respect your own word. Because the day you truly decide, I don't break promises to myself, is the day your entire life begins to change. Chapter 9. The Comparison Trap. There is something quietly destroying your confidence, not failure, not lack of talent, not bad luck, comparison. Every day, you open social media and see people winning. Someone is traveling. Someone bought a new car. Someone speaks perfect English. Someone built a business. Someone looks confident, fit, successful. And without even realizing it, you start measuring your life against theirs. Why am I not there yet? What's wrong with me? Why am I behind? Comparison feels automatic. It happens in seconds. But here's what you forget. You are comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. You see their success. You don't see their anxiety. You see their results. You don't see their sleepless nights. You see the finished product. You don't see the years of failure. Social media shows the celebration, not the sacrifice. And when you compare your normal day to someone else's best moment, of course, you will feel behind. But behind according to who? Everyone has a different timeline. Some people succeed early. Some people succeed later. Some people take longer to find their path. That doesn't mean you are failing. It means your journey is different. Imagine two runners. One starts at age 18. One starts at age 25. If the second runner compares himself to the first without understanding the starting point, he will feel discouraged. But what matters is not where someone else is. What matters is whether you are moving forward from where you started. Comparison steals your focus. Instead of improving your own life, you become busy watching someone else's. Instead of building your habits, you build jealousy. And jealousy is heavy. It drains energy. It makes you bitter instead of better. Let me tell you something powerful. If someone's success makes you feel insecure, it means you want something similar. That feeling is not a signal to hate yourself. It's a signal to act. Instead of saying, "Why not me?" ask, "What can I learn from them?" Turn comparison into inspiration. If someone speaks better English than you, study their pronunciation. If someone built a business, learn how they started. If someone transformed their body, study their routine. You don't need to compete with their chapter 10 when you're in chapter 2. Just focus on writing your own chapter 3. Here's a simple rule. Compare yourself only to who you were 6 months ago. Are you slightly better? Do you know more? Are you more disciplined? Have you taken more risks? That's the only competition that matters. Your race is not against the world. It's against your previous self. And remember this. A sunflower and a rose don't compete. They bloom in their own time. Stop looking left and right. Look forward. Because comparison is poison. But self-improvement, that's power. Chapter 10. Your future is watching. Close your eyes for a moment. I want you to imagine something very clearly. It's 10 years from now. You wake up in a different room, a different version of your life. You walk to the mirror. Your face is older, more defined. Your eyes carry experience. This is you, 10 years older. Now look around. Where are you? Are you proud of the life around you? Or are you silently disappointed? In this moment, something strange happens. That future version of you is not just living his life. He is watching you. Watching this exact version of you today. Watching how you spend your time. Watching your habits. Watching your excuses. Watching your courage. He sees you scroll when you said you would study. He sees you hesitate when you had the chance to speak. He sees you doubt yourself when you could have tried. But he also sees the moments you push through. The moments you wake up early. The moments you practice anyway. The moments you choose discipline over comfort. Now I want you to feel something deeply. Imagine two different futures. In the first future, your older self stands tall, confident, calm, successful in his own way. He looks at you with gratitude. He says, "Thank you. Thank you for not quitting. Thank you for starting when it was hard. Thank you for practicing your English even when you were embarrassed. Thank you for believing in me when nobody else did." Because every small action you took built him. Every time you chose growth strengthened him. Every uncomfortable moment you survived shaped him. He exists because you refused to waste time. Now imagine the second future. Same 10 years. But this time, your older self looks tired. He avoids eye contact. There's a heaviness in his expression. He doesn't yell at you. He doesn't blame you loudly. He just says quietly, "You knew. You knew what you needed to do. You just didn't do it." And that silence hurts more than any criticism. Because regret is not loud. It's heavy. It sits in your chest like a weight. Regret sounds like, "I had time. I had potential. I had the chance." But potential means nothing without action. Your future self cannot go back and fix what you refuse to do today. He is completely dependent on you, right now. This is the part most people don't understand. The future is not random. It is being built in invisible moments, in 5-minute decisions, in daily habits, in quiet consistency. You don't suddenly become successful. You slowly become the type of person who earns it. So let me ask you something powerful. 10 years from now, will he thank you? Or will he blame you? Will he say, "You fought for me"? Or will he say, "You betrayed me for comfort"? Because every time you choose distraction over growth, you are stealing from him. Every time you say later, you are delaying his freedom. But every time you choose discipline, you are investing in him. Every time you practice, you are building his confidence. Every time you take a risk, you are expanding his possibilities. Your future self is not a stranger. He is you, upgraded, stronger, wiser, more capable, but only if you build him. Right now, you are writing his story, with your habits, with your choices, with your standards. And one day, you will wake up in his body. The question is simple. When you look back at today, will you feel proud, or will you whisper, "I wish I had started when I had the chance"? The future is not watching from far away. It is forming around you, and the person you will become is depending on what you do next. Chapter 11. The Decision. Now listen carefully. This is not about motivation anymore. Motivation is temporary. It rises and falls like a wave. You feel inspired for a few minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a day. But a decision changes identity. Right now, you are standing at a quiet but powerful moment. You can close this video and go back to your old habits. No one will stop you. No one will punish you. Life will continue as usual. Or you can decide not to be perfect, not to be extreme, just to be different starting today. You don't need a 10-step plan. You don't need to fix your entire life tonight. You need one action, one small, real action. After this video ends, do one thing that your future self would thank you for. Practice for English for 15 minutes. Write down your goals clearly. Delete one distracting app. Go for a 10-minute walk. Read 5 pages. Momentum doesn't start with big moves. It starts with proof. Proof that you are serious. Proof that you respect your time. Proof that you don't just consume motivation, you act on it. Because the truth is, you are capable of much more than you think. You have survived difficult days already. You have handled pain already. You have learned things you once thought were impossible. You are not weak. You are just underestimating yourself. And maybe no one told you this clearly before. So let me say it to you like an older brother would. You are not behind. You are not stupid. You are not too late. You are not incapable. You are simply one decision away from momentum. Stop talking about becoming disciplined. Be disciplined today. Stop saying you'll start next week. Start tonight. Not because you feel ready, but because you're tired of staying the same. Change doesn't happen when life becomes easier. It happens when you become stronger, and strength is built through action. There will still be hard days. There will still be doubt. There will still be moments when you want to quit. That's normal. But once you decide who you are becoming, quitting becomes harder than continuing. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need you. And I believe something about you. If you're still listening right now, something inside you wants more. You don't want an average life. You don't want quiet regret. You don't want to look back one day and say, I could have done more. So don't. Don't waste the version of you that is ready to grow. Don't betray your potential for temporary comfort. Don't silence that voice inside you that says, I can be better. This is your life, not a rehearsal, not a practice round. This is it. And you don't need to become extraordinary overnight. You just need to refuse to stay ordinary on purpose. So, when this ends, stand up. Fix your posture. Take a deep breath. And do one thing differently. Because years from now, when you look back at this version of yourself, you won't remember the day you felt motivated. You'll remember the day you decided. And that decision will change everything. Now go. Your future is waiting.